Here is my super yummy, healthy Mediterranean meatball recipe. Let's go. So we have all of my ingredients here. I'm going to be actually doing over 3 pounds of ground turkey just because I'm eating these with my family of 6, and then I'm also going to be using this as a little bit of meal prep. I am a postpartum mom, so just making sure I have some prepped meals is really essential for me right now. So we're going to go ahead and put our 3 pounds of ground turkey, 2 eggs, and then a half a cup of almond flour. We are keeping these high protein, low carb. Next up, we're going to go in with about a half cup of red onions. So next up, we're going to be starting with our seasoning. Ground turkey can be very bland, I want to say. So just measure with your heart. Season how you really like it, how your family likes it. I put cumin in here first. I'm going to be doing about a tablespoon and a half of dill to get that Mediterranean vibe going. And then we'll be going in with salt, pepper, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, and then also some paprika. Mix, mix, mix really well with your hands. I love to use gloves just because we have a little baby. I don't want any spices or any onion smell on my hands. All right, so once your ingredients are all incorporated nicely, I'm actually going to season one more time. As I said before, measure with your heart. I feel like with ground turkey, I don't want a bland meatball, okay? So I'm really heavily seasoning my food. If your family likes less seasoning, you can do that as well. Make sure you mix it up nicely one last time, and then we are going to start forming our meatballs. I will say a pro tip right now is to actually just go ahead and use like an ice cream scooper or something that you have on hand to like measure your meatballs. You don't want to have to keep like picking up little by little trying to make them even. So I started doing this with just my hands and eyeballing it, and it wasn't making me happy. My toddler just woke up from his nap. He is super interested in what I'm doing. So if you have kids as well, you could have your children help you if you have that extra time and patience. For me, I was like, step aside, stay over there, just watch what I'm doing. Anyways, starting to use our scooper, this helped me to actually shorten my time of making these meatballs. Also, one more thing I want to mention is that I get my ground turkey from Costco. Each one was about 1.67 pounds. You could honestly just half this recipe if you're just making a meal for your family for one night. I was able to get 34 pretty good sized meatballs out of over 3 pounds. So if you don't need that much, then just chop your recipe in half. So I just rolled out these meatballs to make them more uniform looking. Honestly, you didn't even have to do this because I will show you why shortly. I know that some people will pan sear their meatballs and then put them in the oven, but I'm just going to be doing these on the stovetop the whole time. So for me, I'm the kind of person that does not want to have to sit there and like be frying food over and over, especially when I have so many meatballs to be doing. So instead of like sitting here and turning these meatballs over and over, making sure that every inch gets browned and crispy, I'm just going to flatten these eventually. So just keep watching. So the whole point of this YouTube channel is just to create like simple yet super tasty meals for busy families. I am a mom of 4. I'm working. We have our kids in sports. They have school. It's very back and forth with drop-offs and pickups. But I also want to get out of that like 5 meal wheelhouse. My kids are so tired of me making them spaghetti. And even though that's the easy thing, I do want to expand my skills as a home cook. So I hope this provides you some inspiration and you try all these recipes. But back to these meatballs. Okay, I don't love sitting here trying to like make sure everything is all browned. So instead of doing that and taking like way too much time, because again, as I said, we are busy. We don't want to sit in front of a stove when we want to just be like spending time with our kids and eating a meal all together. So after this first batch, I decided to actually put each meatball in and then flatten it so that it cooks quicker. You don't have to sit there and like be watching these and trying to make sure they stand up on each side of the meatball. So here's where I got a little bit smarter. Just add a little bit more avocado oil, drop your meatballs down, wait till they are browned up evenly on one side, and then when you flip it, you're going to just start pressing down a little bit so it's flatter, not as thick of an actual quote unquote meatball, but more of like a meat patty. Also, I will say that when my family tried these ones over the actual like circular meatballs, they did say these ones were a lot lighter and not so like heavy because I think I overcooked the meatballs because I was trying to make sure the internal temperature was 165. So I saved myself a little bit of time and energy by making these into more of a meat patty. So our meatballs are all finished now. I served these with a side of basmati rice and then a Mediterranean Greek salad type of thing. I added a little bit of tzatziki sauce on top of the meatballs, and there you have it. So for these, I already served my family, but I did want to meal prep a little bit for myself. So just a little pro tip, if you do want to meal prep in the other containers, you can add that Greek salad into a Ziploc bag and then put it into your container so that you won't have to heat up your salad and your meat and your rice. I really hope that you enjoyed this meatball recipe. If you are a mom or a father or just someone that is looking to expand their simple yet super tasty recipes, please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy this.